Hello world, is your girl Liz here back with another video. So today I want to talk to you guys about the whole Clayton Echard situation. You know, sometimes some internet controversies will happen and you'll just get like super invested in it for no reason whatsoever. At the moment, this is my Roman Empire basically. So if you're not familiar with the situation, let me see if I can find somebody that basically describes the situation really briefly. So I couldn't find a good video on TikTok that explained this succinctly, but I did find something on Reddit. A woman from Arizona scoped out a former bachelor male lead to be her real estate agent, only to lure him into a sexual encounter. Since she could not make them an actual item and secure his interest, she then claimed that she was pregnant 11 days after the incident, citing that she knew she wasn't on birth control. She thought about taking Plan B, but didn't, and then emailed and texted the former bachelor lead, telling him the babies are his and trying to get him to come around. When he didn't, and basically told her he wouldn't be involved in raising children with her, she contacted his parents and threatened to smear him in public, which she did by posting an article on the website Medium and posting a Dropbox full of one-sided text comments and emails onto Reddit for all of our perusal, thinking that no one has critical thinking skills and would pitchfork the bachelor in the court of public opinion. And between you and me, they tried to do that at first because in the text messages, Clayton was very pissed off and he was saying some really mean things to her, which he had every right to. Continuing on, Reddit sleuthers then found out from actual court documents that this is not the first time she has tried to manipulate a man into a relationship with the threat of pregnancy. The man on the right is in part court documents and his story written in a legal document outlining very similar storyline to the man on the left was posted for all of us to see. The grammar on this is a little off, but whatever. And when the gig of the relationship coercion does not work, she went for vengeance in the style of legal red tape. The man on the right is another victim of hers who has been dragged through legal battles even to this day when he dated her 3 times years ago. And the girl in the picture is his now pregnant girlfriend. This picture is a friendship bound by the tragedy of encountering someone who is vindictive and trying to destroy their peace of mind as sport or punishment for not getting what she wants.
It's Friday, and you know what we need on a Friday? We need some good news. And who's got the good news today? I got the good news. What's that good news, Clayton? Well, test results came back early, and they said little to no fetal DNA present. Let's go, baby. I knew that was going to happen. Thankfully, 5 months of torture can finally be put to rest. I want to say thank you all to those that have supported me and waited until everything came out. And man, 2 false accusations in 2 years. I really don't want to, look ahead to next year and see what's going to happen. I think 2 false accusations in a lifetime is enough. So thank you all for the support, the love. This was a trying time, but I learned so much about myself. And now back to the regularly scheduled programming, baby.
So this woman was not able to get Clayton, and so she's been taking him to court now for, child support, harassment, a whole bunch of other stuff. But the thing is, allegedly it's coming out that she's not even pregnant. That's what the 3rd paternity test at this point has said. There's no fetal DNA. She's not pregnant. And a lot of people were super inclined to believe this woman's story when it first came out, obviously, because of Me Too culture or whatever. But a lot of Bachelor Nation, they don't really like Clayton. So I'm not surprised that they would look for a reason to hate him and write him off. Not me, though. I always liked Clayton, even though some people say he's white bread. I don't really see that. And he likes black women. So, I like that too. One thing about this situation that I think I haven't been seeing people talk about with my channel, I'm also trying to think about what is the next phase. What should I do? What kind of impact do I want to make? What do I want to talk about? But it was a lesson that I learned recently that I think that I want to tell people about. I just want to say all of this stuff in this video is an opinion. The facts of this case coming out are ongoing. It's an evolving and changing situation. But there's one thing specifically that I feel could have basically avoided this whole situation, and that is taking a moment to get to know somebody before you sleep with them or you do anything sexual with them, or you invite them into your home. It's not to victim blame anybody, you know. In this particular situation, I don't think there was anything that Clayton could have done to predicted this kind of thing, except for take time. As someone who has been in very toxic relationships before, back and forth, who has dated a lot of not good guys, or, you know, talked to whatever, you know, me talking to them, me dealing with them went on way longer than it should have. The one thing that can really totally defeat all of this crap is taking time to get to know people, finding out about them, where they're from, what their family is like, seeing them in different situations. I mean, even if you don't even have that time to invest, just talking more and more and more. It's like the same way people will go out with a guy and by the third date they realize that they're like, oh no, I don't think it's a good match. Like, you can get to that point without even meeting the motherfucker. Like, that's where I'm at, especially now I've started back online dating and stuff like that. Like, and I know some people don't like that. It's like, oh, talking endlessly. Like, you know, yeah, sure, some people you just maybe go meet for coffee, meet for a drink later on or whatnot. But like me personally, I don't even want to waste that time. It's not going to work out with most people, right? You can figure out through a couple conversations on the phone whether this is going to work. Like, I remember the first conversation I had with a guy, I told him on the phone with this one guy, we was texting, whatever, we talked really quickly. Like, that's actually even better. Get on the phone as soon as possible and talk to these guys or these girls. I feel like guys should be doing this even more, because like, if you're a guy and you're taking girls out on dates, like, if I was you, I would be wanting to weed them out quick. Don't, before I even waste my time, before I even do any of that stuff. Let's get on the phone, let's get on FaceTime, let's talk, let's figure this out. This guy who I had met from a dating app, whatever, we started talking and we got on the phone really fast. Got on the phone, within 10 minutes, this guy's talking about how Indian women are too much this, and like American Indian women are too Americanized, and he's like traditional, he's in the middle, he don't like this, he don't like that. I'm like, I'm just listening like, oh yeah, pretending like I agree with him, like, oh yeah, I totally get that. And then after he was finished his spiel, I was like, well, listen, man, I gotta tell you that I am not traditional by any means. Like, that is not a word to describe me. I mean, I already know that that's not my vibe, and I'm not gonna like try and fit a square into a circle or whatever. You know, I said it very kind, you know, very gentle, like very respectful, like, oh, you know, honestly, I just don't think that we're a good match just based off of that stuff, so I wish you luck, pretty much. He was like, okay, yeah. And then in a text message, he was like, oh, it's sad that we didn't even get to meet, and don't you want to try or whatever. I'm like, no. It's like, what does Yoda say? There is no try, just do, or something like that. Like, what am I trying for? There's a conversation now about how women need to choose better. And I feel like within the past couple years, we have actually finally listened, that we need to have discernment. Like I said, this is not the victim blame, right? Because there's plenty of stories of, like, let's say a woman and a guy, a woman and a man are in a relationship. They're loving up, they're doing all this, they're living together, they're yada, yada, yada. Guys like, oh, I really want to have a baby. Oh, I'm on it. Let's make a baby, make the baby. And then as soon as the baby gets there, he turns into a freaking demon. All the stuff that he said he was gonna do, he's not doing. He's not stepping up to the plate. He's staying out. He's not providing. He's not doing this. You know, so many couples break up like literally during pregnancy or like right after the baby came because the guy just switched up. Now this, what I'm about to say, is probably very, very unpopular. I feel like, as someone who's been in an abusive relationship, toxic relationship, okay, I feel like most people show their red flags very, very early on. And because we, men and women, because we like the person or we're so attracted to them or whatever, that we just like blow past the red flag and blow past the next one and blow past the next one. Trust me, I know it's really hard, like, to figure out what's a red flag that you need to avoid and dip, or what's just something about someone that, you know, is just one of their things, right? Everybody has a thing. No one's perfect. We all have, you know, you're messy, or maybe you're not as good with money, or maybe you have a bad relationship with a parent or something. It's hard to sometimes discern of like, what is a red flag that I need to leave and peace out, and what is just somebody's thing. However, I do think a lot of these very bad situations usually could have been predicted if you just like gave it more time to get to know someone. Like, there's so many relationships that start happening so fucking fast. Like, you meet them, you with them all the time. Next thing you know, you live with the person, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, you don't even know who this person really is. You know what I mean? And so going back to the Clayton situation, allegedly what happened was that the same day that Clayton met this girl is the same day that she gave him a blow. And someone like him has so much to lose. He has so much at stake. Why would you put yourself in that position to have some random possibly take it away from you? And I feel like if he didn't do that with her that day, if he would have just kept talking to her and talking to her and talking to her, she would have revealed her psychosis at some point. Again, not to blame him or anything like that. There's no way he could have known that she was plotting on him. Clayton is a realtor, and basically this woman set up a meeting, like he was gonna go show her some houses, which is so diabolical, so Machiavellian, so manipulative, so wicked, like literally wicked behavior, plotting on this man. And then, you know, did what she did. A wise man once said, don't stick your dick in crazy, okay? Don't let crazy stick his dick in you either, okay? But it goes both ways. Over and over again, I hear stories over and over again of guys continuing to date women who they know are nothing but trouble. They know that she had red flags early on, but they don't care because she's hot, or they don't care because she's giving it up really easily. Like, let me just get involved with her. No, like, not just women need to choose better. Guys also need to choose better. You should not just be having sex with someone or having oral with someone just because they're ready and available and willing to do it. Get to know people first. And I'm not saying that like, oh, you got to get in a committed relationship with everybody and like, but take a freaking moment, at least take a couple days to know if the person's fucking crazy or not. And I'm telling you, it usually the case, it will come out. There will be some kind of flag early on. You know, if you didn't hook up with them the first day, next thing you know, 2, 3, 4 days, they're hitting you up nonstop. They're doing this, they're wanting to, and all it took was a couple days to figure that out. This is actually like, should be a part of a larger conversation. One that's been going on the past couple of years with the Me Too movement, with a lot of high earning, high profile men sleeping with random people, sleeping with the help, sleeping with their fans, sleeping with this person, sleeping with that person. And it's like, if you sleeping with 100 people, you don't think at least one of them is going to be unhinged? Especially when psychopathic, sociopathic, narcissistic individuals make up what, like 1 to 5% of the population? You can figure this out if you just took time to get to know a person. Allegedly, she's even worn a fake pregnant belly in the court hearings for this. I seen a clip of the video. It looks fake to me, but it's all alleged at this point. And apparently this woman is also very litigious. She's sending cease and desists and all that kind of stuff to people. If she just so happens to see this video and wants to start something, wipe your ass with the cease and desist, like, or I'll wipe my ass with it. Like, off, seriously. Clayton ended up getting himself into this very, very fucked up situation with this woman who is literally making his life a living fucking hell. This is not to come at men. This is men and women. We all need to take time getting to know the people that we're bringing into our lives. And that's how like a lot of these rappers and actors and all these people get caught up as well. They meet a fan, they meet a girl who's hot in the ass, like wants to sleep with them, whatever. And then you're dealing with a woman that's pregnant from a one-night stand. You know, if you have money, wealth, you have too much to lose. This is even for people who don't have anything. Take some time to get to know people. Like, sure, sex positivity is great and all. You want to sleep around, fine. Get to know the person a couple days before you fucking do it. And there's people who, you know, they just go out and have a one date with someone and the person turns into a fucking nut job, which I've seen plenty of times. So that's not to say that you can always control the situation, but in most of the situations, most times, you can avoid this kind of stuff if you just got to know people ahead of time before you sleep with them. I just want to jump in and say that I'm not a perfect person and I have made mistakes and stupid, irresponsible decisions myself in the past. But I'm speaking now as a person who has learned a lot from their mistakes, and I want to talk about this because I want other people to not make the same mistakes I did. And I think that this situation, while horrible, there is something that can be learned from it. So I think that guys need to have more discernment. Stop sleeping around with anyone who will have you. My first boyfriend, Dusty King, my abusive relationship, which I have a full documentary about on this channel. You can check it out. It's fascinating. Pictures, videos, all that good stuff. When you watch that video, you'll see that like the first red flag was that not only did he stay over that night, but he stayed over the next night and the next night. That was the first red flag right there. Second red flag, he was acting funny buying me food. Literally like hood Chinese food, which means the food was under $10. Then 2 weeks after that, the motherfucker ghosted me. But I kept going and going and going and seeing him, ignoring the red flags because I was just so attracted to him. I was so lonely, so desperate, you know? That's another thing too. Desperation, insecurity, loneliness will put you in a lot of bad situations. That whole thing could have been avoided if I would have just, oh, he's like this, oh, I'm out. You know, I'm 33. And this is still something I'm still practicing and training. Like, I haven't gotten it all figured out by any means. So let this make you think that. But it's like, now that I know, I can't really have any excuse. You know what I mean? I know I have to reiterate because I know there's going to be somebody, but what if, but what happens when most of the time, like probably 90% of the time, there was something that they showed? The other 5%, the psychopathics, the Machiavellians, the manipulators, those type of people, yeah, you know, those narcissists, those types of people, they can hide that stuff. But usually 9 times out of 10, you saw something ahead of time that you just ignored, you know? And again, people have their things, right? So let's say you make a mental note of the first time you've seen it and keep going. Oh, make a second mental note, okay. And once you make that first mental note, pump the brakes. Pump the brakes. Continue getting to know. Continue getting to know. Continue getting to know. I don't know. I haven't made a YouTube video in so long, so I'm sorry if that's all over the place in any way. Yeah, I just wanted to talk about that situation. I felt like it was a teachable moment. I didn't hear anyone saying it's like, you got to take your time getting to know people. Especially, everyone needs to do it, but especially if you got a lot to lose. Like, you're a celebrity, you're an influencer or something like that. I think in my next video, I'm going to talk about the future of my channel. Like, I don't know what to do on YouTube. I've been bored with YouTube a little bit lately. Like, the content that I see, I'm just like, I don't even know what people are watching. What are other people watching? Like, because I'm a content girly. Like, I want to make stuff, but I want to make stuff that people actually want to watch. Are vlogs still around? Are vlogs dead? Like, lifestyle content, is it dead? So anyway, thanks so much for watching this video. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Let me know if you think that waiting and getting to know people can save you a lot of heartbreak and trouble. I think so.